next to me.
That's what
Right.
I
What's going on?
thought.
I don't know what's going on.
What the hell?
I don't know what's going on. My camera's
Ladies
on.
and gentlemen, we are experiencing some very weird technical difficulties, and this is why you should always try to come to a live show.
Right, I'm going to sign out of this and come back in again, right?
All right, give it that a shot.
Leave.
I knew we were expecting some weird anomalies due to the solar storms bringing back the auroras, but I don't know what the hell. Chris' screen, it's been weird. So, how's everybody been doing? We got Lawrence, got Dots, we got Dots T, we got Tatiana. I hope everybody is doing well. No, I didn't. I'm still here. Okay.
I'm going to have to shut the computer down and turn it back on again. So you're going to have to get us up.
Okay. Well, Drew, we would love to be able to breaking stuff. Hey. Alan, how are you, my friend? Maul the Mystical is apparently not welcome on the show tonight. So he's trying to figure that shit out. Hi, Chris. Hi, Dakota and the ghost of Chris. Yeah. After all the interference I had trying to record the interview with Abigail, man, and if anybody here hasn't gone seen that, made an appearance on the Grounded Starseed channel. Very good discussion. I was kind of impressed because I'll be honest, I did that one slightly sleep deprived. Dawn, how are you? Well, tonight initially we were going to go into communication in regards to, when it comes to the dead and potentially, other beings trying to communicate us through dream state. So, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the heck is going on, and Chris is kind of thick-headed when it comes to trying to figure out how to fix stuff, so we'll see if he's able to get back. So funny you saw me taking the pic. Yeah, I remember you holding up the camera. Wait, you're on the wrong side. What? Let's fix this.
That is why we had to turn the computer off and back on again. Aliens. I blame the aliens. Aliens. Hello, everybody. How are you all? I honestly don't know what we're doing there. Weird.
That was weird. I've never seen it do that before. Hey, Tina, long time no see.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you all there. I was trying to fix it. My laptop updated tonight to the new Windows.
Yeah.
And I never restarted it.
Oh, that would do it. No, I was just going to say, some of the individuals I follow who try to help people recover their accounts after they've been hacked notice that they've been getting a lot of people reporting that their Microsoft Outlook accounts have been hijacked, as well as everything tied to those. I haven't seen any official statements come out from Microsoft, but just saying, it does seem like there's something going on.
I got it was quite a big update the night at 10 about half an hour for it to update. and then I had to install it. So maybe it's something they've brought out, because I had this on yesterday, because obviously I look after Lisa Fry's YouTube channel, so I went in yesterday. I see she got a strike. No, a strike on her channel, but she got a hangway for that other music she's got.
I told her a possible fix for that.
Did you? Well, you did, didn't you? That's right.
Yeah, she uses Canva to edit her videos, and there's a way you're supposed to the account.
She told me it was copyright free. It was fine. It said on the website where she got it for, it was absolutely fine to use on YouTube.
Dude, I've been flagged for using my own music, shit I've composed on YouTube.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I was like, I've been flagged for using my own music, stuff I wrote and produced and composed all myself, and it was yelling at me like, "Fuck you, Google."
I know, it's like, it's mad. Facebook's been a pain in the arse towards me. To see how I've got the Ghost Squad Scotland Facebook page. Are we going out to there now?
We should be.
Well, it says it wanted my profile that's connected to that to be set in professional mode. But my profile has been set in professional mode, but they're still saying when I go to stream for StreamYard that it should be set in professional mode. Plus, I couldn't stream today. See when I went to do my tarot card readings for everybody, I went to Galactic Stardust, I went to stream, and it says, I'm sorry, we're experiencing an unusual high number of people streaming right now. You'll have to wait till after. And I had to keep doing it, I had to keep hitting it and waiting. Eventually it let me in. Usual absolute madness. Do you like the YouTube sign? Look, YouTube sent me that, everybody. What do you think? See? I can't get any more into this space. It seems to be getting like weird and weird. I'm feared to touch anything in case it all just like collapses all around about me.
I don't know, man. I was like, I have never seen your camera go like that. I'm usually the one that's having the most issues.
It's the weirdness. The weirdness. They're coming for us. We're doomed.
I mean, when I was recording that interview that I did just
That's
recently,
right.
I was even just having to purposely stop because I could tell that we were starting to glitch out, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop so none of the story gets messed up.
Well, I'm going to say this: the person that had you on actually pronounced my name correctly. I was very impressed with that.
Yes.
So many people. I know there's no many people who pronounce my name correctly.
Aye, it's very true.
Aye, I know. I was getting this. I was. What the hell's this? Is popping up in my screen now. There's a weird window popping up in my screen now. Why is Messenger popping up now? Getting started. Messenger. Camera on. Honestly,
what kind of websites have you been visiting, Christopher?
I'll only go to the websites using my phone. It's more secure that way. You know, Apple devices are more secure that way.
Not since Steve Jobs died.
Oh, Christopher, can you please try and say my name?
That's just mean.
Bucks. Hey, right, here we go. What is it? You read it out to me first, then I'll try it. There you go. Go on, you go. Go on.
Are we talking your real name, or are you talking your username?
What's her real name?
That's what I want to know. Yeah, her real name's Dawn. Yeah,
right. Right, Dawn. Right, Dawn. Obviously, I can say Dawn. You know, Dawn's easy to say. Soldier's Voice 4.
For what else?
Well, that's what I can see. All right, sorry. Soldier's Voice.
It's on the screen.
For life. Soldier's Voice for life. Ye of little faith. I may be a crazy. Oh, did you see Scotland get beat on their football?
On the
yesterday,
what?
The big football. Their football. It's a round object, and they kick it about this green field. No, Scotland get beat by Germany 5-0.
It sounded like you said the flipper.
The way they're going, they're absolutely terrible. You know, son of the naked Bigfoot. Pete is in the room. Chris, have you been ordering that all natural
ball juice from that North Korean website?
Well, what? Pete, it's the one it's that bloody link that you gave me for making it 10 times bigger than it should be.
Yeah, then none of that stuff actually works. But should we announce what's been
Oh,
added to one of
aye. Pete,
our big Bald and Bonkers merch stores?
I think Pete should endorse it for us. We need to send some to Pete. We need
Okay.
to.
There's a little bit of a backstory. So we've had some people already go to submit to for the anthology that we were talking about last week. So we got to talking with some of them, and apparently individuals who have never heard of the show before thought Bald and Bonkers was a hair restoration company.
Maybe they're no wrong. Where's my toupee? There we go. What do you think of that, Pete? What do you think, ladies?
You look like a knobhead.
I know. I look like a complete knobhead. But look at that. I think it looks lovely. You know, to the side there.
I man, you look like a complete fucking knobhead. Anyway,
it's 100%
so
plastic.
anyway, going back to the story. So I thought, you know, there's a lot of websites where you can like design your own merch. You know, you can put out your own coffee brands. So I have officially added to the Bald and Bonkers Printify store. Now, I will state that due to, I believe it's something to do with customs, it can only be sent out in the US. That's just one drawback. So, Dots, I know you were looking forward to it, man, but sorry.
Pete can endorse it on his TikTok for us.
We have now Bald and Bonkers Hair Growth Tonic.
And you can tell it works 100%.
Yeah, right. And you know, just that, trying to get it up on the screen here so we can show you and see if anything will decide to work with me. God damn it! Come on, you piece of junk!
Open windows. So they open windows on the strange sites that you've got open there.
We need the open windows, man. It's been hot over here.
It's not been that out here in the UK. I think we've got like global cooling, you know, actually.
It's actually been kind of cool today, but think about running away to the mountains and not coming back. Come on, load!
Bring it up, man. Bring it up.
Is it?
Get it up. I can't see it yet.
Oh, yeah. Did you just say get it up?
Why no? Get it up. Bring it up. It's look, Pete's excited in the chat. See, he's wanting some what do you call it? Ointment or whatever it is that comes in. Oh, look, my God, ladies and gentlemen, he has been kicked. It's now Dakota's time to be kicked, you know? But honestly, guys, just wait till you see this. It's really funny. Like, you're getting old. This happens. It happens. It's just getting you close to it. What? I'm nearly 50. I'm 42. I'll be 43 this year.
Just because you're 42 doesn't mean you have all the answers in the universe.
Yeah, I'm older than you. Closer to God.
I'm taller.
That's very true. That's very true. But then if you could think of it being interdimensional, could be standing in front of you, you know?
Oh, it's not wanting to work. God damn it. Okay, we're going to have to go to the...
Why don't you just screen share it?
In a moment.
Can't get help anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible.
Good help. Good help. I'm the one that runs this company, you son of a bitch.
Hey, don't you start that bullshit. Stuff? I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion because we're talking about the dream world and strange things tonight, guys. But obviously, once he manages to get it up, we'll be able to talk about this, you know.
Well, why don't
as long as I don't start talking about clapping gators or anything like that, it'll be fine. You know?
We also have clapping gator merch in the stores.
There you go. Dots, you can get yourself some clapping gators.
You should be able to get that in Ireland, yes.
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to disagree?
I was looking forward to this. As long as it's not got me with eating a banana in the front of it, you know.
Hey, I told you I don't have that picture saved. You dumb.
I was going to send it to you.
Anyway, okay, here we go. Bald and Bonkers hair growth tonic.
Can I ask you something? Who's that guy meant to be in the front of that? Because it's no any of us. Be truthful.
Well, Dots was one of the people that was telling me that someone he knows thought Bald and Bonkers was a hair restoration company. And, figure when we first got to see his face, our first thought was how much he looks like, Bruce Springsteen. So I told the AI generator, Bruce Springsteen with long blonde hair. And that's what got made.
Dear Jesus, help me. Lord, save me for this terrible demean.
You grow your hair, we make you lose it? Yeah.
Pete, that makes me wonder what you're actually into at night. After you finish watching YouTube, you can tell he goes onto some strange sites.
Anyway, I think we screwed around enough times. So, Chris, I was wanting to ask, why'd you want to go into this topic? I think it's something we've done before, but
I think it. I mean, right. I thought it would be an interesting topic, right? I mean, look, the dream world is something that we don't usually talk about. Just my phone's doing something weird there, but it's something that we don't really talk about. And I mean, when Mike used to come on the show, we used to talk about the dream world and how he used to utilize the dream world. And then I had a really weird experience on Tuesday night coming into Wednesday, which Pete in the chat kens all about, and Lisa kens about, and you ken about. But it's like, it's something that we don't really talk about, really, is like dream visitation and dreams to the well, think about it. You the aliens use it to come and see you sometimes, right? They utilize the, what do you call it, the dream world to do what they want to do, right? Whereas the paranormal world, the lost people that have died and stuff like that, also use it to travel, to utilize, because there'll be people that, with zero psychic skills. I know everybody's psychic, but some of them have not opened up to that, and they'll have a visitation dream that will be so real. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, how is that possible? And they didn't believe in that. What's Pete saying? Dream walking can be either very good or very horrifying. I bet you it can.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because I've had a lot of waking dream experiences. That what happened to me. I'm not getting into it fully because it is a lot, it's personal. But it felt so real. Mm-hmm. I remember looking over, I've got the Alexa device right next to me. And I looked over and it was like 3:30 in the morning. And then I went back to the dream world. And I was in this beautiful place. I'll not say who was there and stuff like that, but it was in this beautiful place. And then I like blanked out again, and I looked at the clock, and it was like 5:30. But only for me, it was only like maybe a couple of seconds had passed. And when I shut my eyes again, it was all like multicolored. No, I wasn't taking it. It was all like multicolored and stuff like that. Right. Anyway.
What?
And then I was away. I was away to that place again, but it was the same vivid dream, and it was so flipping real. That's right, Dots. You can, because you get astral projection, all that kind of thing. You can actually get into a state, what do you call it, meditation, where you can go out your body and you can go anywhere you want. What happened?
It literally just felt like somebody was just brushing their hand against my neck like that, like this.
Mike, if it's you, do it again.
All right, hold on. I had this on during the interview. Where did I fucking put it? God, I'd lose my own head if it wasn't screwed on.
Yeah.
No, I had my EMF.
You should maybe put it on.
There we are. I finally put a fresh battery in this.
I'm going to say this, and it's true what Pete said to me the other night, right? I asked him about this because I ken he kens what he's talking about. And he was talking about if you're really unwell and you're close to death, you can like use it to like basically go to a different dimension kind of thing. I've not been well, guys. I've had a lot. I need to go for an MRI and all that through the week, and I've been really, 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 really sick. And I still am now. I'm taking crazy stuff. I'm taking stuff. I'm going to take it easy in case I take a stroke and die or something like that. But never mind that. It's a story for another time, as Mike would say. But that night I felt horrendous. And I think that triggered something in me and it tailed me somewhere. What's that? Dad used to have to take herbal mixtures to dream walk, but he got good at it that he could induce it by eye. I bet you could. I've seen your dad doing his videos and wow. That's all I'm going to say. You know, so what's your opinion on it, Dakota?
There's a number of different factors you have to take into consider it. Like how Lawrence is saying, it all depends on what's your mind that it can be influenced. Sometimes, maybe if you had a recent death with a loved one, especially if it's a particularly traumatic situation, probably health reasons or something truly horrific happened to them, there could be a part of you that subconsciously tries to call out to these individuals. Or in some cases, it doesn't even have to be a death related. It could be someone you legitimately miss. And that can sometimes create a psychic link. The brain waves in dream state for usually it's only for a few fractions of a second when it happens in most people, but the brain waves that are particularly active in dream state.
Oh, have we lost Dakota? Ladies and gentlemen.
They've also been doing psychic episodes.
That was weird. What just happened there? You froze for a millisecond for me.
You comes across, you're interrupting me, you son of a bitch. So what all this you fucking hear? I'm joking, people.
Come on, let's go.
I'm slightly sleep deprived, so you might just see a little bit of goofy Dakota today. But anyway, it is really interesting where this happens because, say, like Don Soldier's voice just mentioned, you also had the phenomenon of prophetic dreams, where you can have a dream, think, wow, that was awfully weird. Then a little bit later, maybe the next day, maybe a little bit down the line, things will play out. In my experience, not always in exact detail, but still, they would play out almost exactly like they were in the dream. It goes to make you wonder, why does that happen? Maybe it doesn't seem to be anything. You would think maybe it would be some sort of high energy event, something that would definitely cause a lot of emotion, a lot of stress, hearts racing, like the several reports that come out of individuals who were supposed to be, ironically, this is episode 9/11, who were supposed to be for some reason or another at the Twin Towers at the time of 9/11. There's several individuals who have had strange circumstances that directed them away. They were supposed to either be in that building or on those planes. I know some police officers who were supposed to be on those planes.
I've heard about that.
And they also say that a lot of those souls have been reincarnating. They're coming back.
But it makes you wonder too if it's something that's built into everybody to help them when times are difficult.
A stress-related response.
Aye, like a stress. It's not the first time it's happened to me. It's happened to me 3 times in my life. It's happened to me 4 times in my life. It's happened to me 4 times in my life.
Amateur. Anyway,
it's only happened. Right, I've done the dream. I've moved the dream walking. I've done the out of body stuff. I've done the you can see your body and you get to the end of your street and you can go places and stuff like that. I've done that. I've experienced that. But I'm talking about when I'm lying in my bed, when I go to sleep at night and you're no well. I've experienced things, and it's always, I had COVID last year. Around about this time, I had COVID. I thought I was going to die. Honestly, I felt absolutely diabolical, right? And I had a very vivid dream of this church. And into this church, and in the church was all my dead relatives, right? And they tell me, they says, listen, you're going to be all right. And I can remember it to this day, to this very day, everything that happened. I woke up and about a week later, I get better, right? It happened again the other night there. It's happened in the past, which I'll not talk about because it was kind of traumatic things that happened to me. Where it brought it on. But I'm thinking it's maybe something that's subconsciously built into the human brain. Maybe it's not just the human brain. Maybe it's animals too. You don't know what animals dream about. You see them lying there twitching away and all that kind of stuff when they're sleeping. You don't know if it's only us that experiences this.
Actually, in theory, there's a couple different things. You take into consideration like reports out of situations like Project Stargate, where governments, this one focuses mainly on the US, but other governments in the world are just as guilty of trying to experiment for purposes of espionage. And Dots could probably write a novel on how much he knows about this type of stuff. But it has been noted on several occasions that there are trauma-related response awakenings to psychic ability, where either someone's going through a particularly rough time, they're in a toxic environment, they're in abusive relationships, or as also noted in certain cases where you have like what's that term I'm thinking of? It's like sudden savant syndrome or something like that, where for some reason someone takes a blow to the head and all of a sudden they gain some sort of new ability
they can play the piano. They can play the
they
piano.
Can play like piano. They can be able to speak a language of someplace they've had no exposure to in their life. They may even pick up new accents, things like that. When it comes to certain psychic ability, maybe there is sort of a trauma-related response to where if it's a stressful enough situation and someone has some sort of disposition to psychic ability, it could manifest. You go into some UFO reports, there's individuals, I know knowing who's all in the audience right now, Jean-Charles Moyen, he's a prime example, but there's quite a few others where they, for some reason, something spooked individuals so bad that they literally teleported away from a situation, like something out of X-Men.
See, I'm going to say this now, and obviously you'll know this, Dakota, and everybody in the chat. A lot of you will know this, that I do think the dream world isn't just the dream world. I think it's so much more, right? The dream world is like a doorway to a different world. And I think when you die, when you pass away, you use the dream world to cross sometimes. Because you've heard about people who go to their beds, they fall asleep, and they never wake up and stuff like that. But I do think things can come through the doorway too. And it was weird because when I was having that experience on Tuesday getting into Wednesday, it was like a door was in front of me. And the guy walked back with me, whoever it was. The guy walked back and says, I have to close this door now because if I don't, you'll be followed. That's what it said to me. That's what it subconsciously said to me. This door has to be closed. Right? So I do think it's no, the dream world isn't just a dream world. I think it's like, it's used for so many things. It's used for visitations. I think that's how spirits get about. Who knows what the dream world is? Because when you die, they say the brain, how long does the brain live on after you're dead? What is it?
For a few minutes,
right, for a few minutes, right? Well, you look at that dream that I had. A couple of seconds was like 4 hours for me. Like you see how the time doesn't work in dream state. It's different. It's totally different. So it makes you wonder what else the dream world, what else is lurking in the dream world, what other places can that take you to? Because I've seen some amazing, strange things in my life, only in my dreams, weird things. But I ken with you and I ken with a lot of people in the chat, yous have all experienced like UFO things. I did at first experience UFO stuff. I blame him for that. And I did see his kids and stuff like that. And I did see that at first, but then it started opening the door for me. And I started traveling more. And I started seeing these beautiful places. I mean, guys, you've no fucking idea. I'm talking beautiful mountains and scenery with flowers, and you're bare feet, and there's waterfalls, and there's thousands of people wandering about. But you seem to know everybody, but they know you, and they all wave back at you, and you don't know who they are. Do you get me where I'm going with this kind of stuff? That's what I mostly experience now. I experience more the spiritual side, the ghost, the spirit side of stuff. That's why I do the tarot card readings. That's why I do that, mostly ghost stuff. But when I first met Dakota, I had some crazy dreams. I had some just weird, downright weird dreams of these weird places, and it wasn't that. It was totally different. It was somewhere else, and it wasn't like the afterlife. It was somewhere else. That's what I'm going to say. There you go.
There's a couple different things in regards to what you're saying, how the dream world may actually be connected to the spirit realms and all that. How do I put this? In many ways, the human mind, even at moments where of most minimal activity, can be considered its own universe.
Yeah.
In many ways. And when you actually look at a lot of the structures of the human mind compared to a lot of the structures within creation itself, there are very similar patterns you do see. And there's even certain theories out there that the universe, the stars, the planets, they all have some form of consciousness tied to them.
Yeah.
And if you know how to work things, you can freely travel.
Yes.
You can technically use it as a teleportation because, like I said, the brain waves associated with astral traveling are also present in certain depths of stream state, right where REM sleep starts to happen.
Yeah.
So technically it is possible. One thing, there's one show, Supernatural. I remember Michelle Bruce started to quote it a little bit when we had her on. I hope I said her last name correctly. But and the basic concept behind that television show was basically that there was nothing focused on American kind of lore when it comes.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the angels, Metatron, ironically, that was supposed to be Metatron, scribe of God, he stated that being able to write and create stories was an ability is our own ability to create of creation ourselves, where we are essentially gods. It's a small fraction of it. Then you walk into scenarios where we have tulpas and thought forms with authors who fully believe to this day. One of the popular ones out there is John Constantine from DC Comics.
That's right.
Where authors fully believe they've met or had very similar situations unfold from whatever projects they were working on come into their life, come into this reality as we know it.
See, it's quite interesting you bring that up because I was watching somebody the other night that was streaming. They were talking about a certain individual that visits people in the night. He wears a hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about a certain individual that visits people in their dreams, and he wears a hat. I'm not saying his name. Everybody kens who I'm talking about. And I think, and I'm going to say this now, I do think that's some type of topic kind of thing. I think that's been brought alive. I think that it's like if you believe in something that much, if there's a group of people, thousands of people believe in something, they can bring something like that into life. It's like Loch Ness, where everybody sees the monster or sees or goes to a location and sees like UFOs and weird shit like that. But scientifically they've looked at it and they kind of figure out what's causing it. Maybe it's because everybody's believes in it that much. It's came to life. The dream world it's weird. I've never had a recurring dream. You ever had a recurring dream, Dakota?
Oh yeah.
Right. I've never experienced a recurring dream. Every dream I've had has maybe been similar, but it's been a wee bit different every time. So it's the only dreams that disturbed me is when I was a wee boy. I would say I was maybe 6 or 7. I don't think I've told him to this. This has got to sound stupid, right? I used to have this fear I was in this big ball and I was rolling down a hill. And I would have that recurring dream. It was a recurring dream. I'll admit that. It was a recurring dream, and it's when I was a wee boy about 6. And I was rolling down the hill and I'd wake up and I'd be sweating and I would be like, oh my God, what the hell's that? And that would happen. Then it changed. Then it totally changed to cartoons. I dreamt and it was a cartoon world after that. And it was constant cartoon worlds after that. Everything was cartoon. I would dream about my school. I would dream about my friends, right? But they were cartoons.
Mhm.
Everybody was cartoons. And it was, I'm not talking like black and white cartoons. I'm talking colour cartoons. And everybody was cartoons. And it was so weird. And then I think when I got to, I was maybe 16 or 17, it stopped. It just stopped. It never happened again. The 2 dreams never happened again. And that used to, hey, Iron Fire Horse, that used to happen all the time. And when I got to, like, say, adulthood, it just stopped, which I find interesting. Odd, but interesting.
You remember this was a while ago. I may have to kick up the little archive series again just to revisit old interviews. But you remember when we had let's see, what was his name? David Hawburn from the Birmingham UFO group
Aye,
come
that's
on?
him.
And
Aye,
how he
remember
said
that.
that certain screen memories can actually present themselves like cartoons.
Yeah.
When it comes to dreams, regardless of whether it's a form of astral travel, dreams are perhaps one of the best windows into someone's mind to
Yes.
how their brain functions. It is, and anytime you have a certain dream, and one thing I've noticed is that if there's a certain intensity behind the dream, this is just my experience. Maybe others
Mhm.
have had it. If there's a certain intensity to the dream where all of a sudden that was just like, wow, it felt like you just watched a really well done film. Best
Yeah.
way I know to describe it. We have a couple people who were witness to one of my incidents where, and now mind you, when I did that recent interview, I was mostly sleep deprived because I was a hell of a lot more busier than I was expecting that day. Family drama, car getting serviced,
The guys.
all that. But when my son came to visit me, it came through dream state. Then in this state, I remember seeing the front of the hotel, being able to zoom in on certain individuals. Basically, short version, the ladies that had a lot of the most glitter on because it was the disco night. That's who I kind of tried to seek out first. I was trying to look at people I knew who would be there. The next morning, all of a sudden, people are posting about videos and pictures about UFOs in the exact position I was.
Yeah.
Now, why did it did not include this? Yes, because let's face it, I'll just give a little sneak preview about those of you who are been waiting for the book I was talking about that I'm writing. It's almost up to 400 pages. So there's a lot of detail, and I was trying to condense for time. But nevertheless, dreams are important to note because, on one hand, they can be helpful psychological tools. That's why a lot of therapists may even ask you, what kind of dreams do you have, depending on whatever the
Mm-hmm.
situation is you're going in for. Because, say, like you're so stressed out at work, you're
Yeah.
dreaming of basically blowing up and just attacking people at your workplace. Type of, just a random scenario, nothing
No.
in particular. But then there's also instances where, say, you're trying to do a memory recall, either because you believe you have some sort of past life situation,
Mm-hmm.
or there's a certain memory that, for some reason, let's just say, just because a lot of time has passed since you really thought about that time, that kind of got suppressed in your mind. So you're trying to bring that back to the surface, and you go to bed. Next thing you know, you have a dream that's exactly that memory.
Yeah.
It, dreams can be very helpful tools. And when you know how to properly work them, you can truly change your perspective on life itself.
Oh yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
several cultures all over the world had such an emphasis on dreams. They knew that, okay, maybe on some level they over exaggerated the spiritual aspects of it.
Oh
Who
yeah.
knows? I would love to have one-on-one conversations with these individuals, but nevertheless, they knew there was something there.
Of course, I'm going to say this. When I was in 6, 7 years old, and I had the cartoons, it was always in the same place. I remember it was in the playground at my school, and it was. I don't know if that was somebody had put it there. See, this is what got me interested, because I've heard people talking about this, how ETs can do that. They can like put false memories into you, or like false dreams, to make you think that you were somewhere else. But it was always in the same place, but it was always with different people.
Hmm.
People that I didn't recognise. Didn't recognise them. And when you tried to look at them close, their faces were blank.
Hmm.
Did you get me? And it was so vibrant. It was like, oh, how can I say this? Remember the old Spider-Man comics, the colours in that, the yellows, the reds,
Hmm.
the right old. I'm talking about when you had this paper that was like glossy paper. I'm talking about the kind of the cheap paper. You know
You're
what I'm talking
talking.
about?
It's
I'm
like you're
talking old
talking.
school.
You're talking quite old
Right.
school, man.
I'm talking old school coloured paper.
Yeah, all the
What do
stuff
you call
that
it?
would
Yes, and I
fade
never
to
read.
yellow if you didn't preserve it.
I was dyslexic. I was dyslexic, and I never read a comic in my entire life. Never, ever. And that's what I can remember. And it was
Hmm.
always in the same place, but it was always different people. And when you get close to their faces were just blank, which I find interesting. What's that? Dreams
Well,
are very important. I am a study in what's that? Iron Fire Horses Go.
it's hold on. Jungian, like Carl Jung. I know it's a
Yeah.
J, but that's how you pronounce it. Psychology and analysis. And Carl Jung, he did actually have a lot of focus in almost psychic and supernatural phenomenon as well. So a lot of.
Hey, Lewis.
Hey, what's up, Lewis? About time you fucking show up, man. God.
He's coming on
I'm,
to show
I'm,
the border tonight. There you go.
I'm just anyway. Fuck. What was I gonna say?
Don't know. I
But
can't read
no,
your
it's
mind.
like, you know, but no, actually, kind of going into the dream cartoony phase, comic book phase. When I was a kid, a lot of the dreams I had had a very similar artistic style to a show on Cartoon Network. It was Teen Titans. whenever it would be like ET weird supernatural fight scenes. I don't know. Maybe on some level, ETs have tried to put that there because it is something you wouldn't necessarily freak out about,
Mhm.
because you would think, oh, because if you go to tell you say like you go to tell your parents you had a weird dream and it's in a that it will you would look like you were
Mhm.
in a cartoon, your parents are chances are your parents are just gonna say, oh, you're watching that cartoon too much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It would easily be tossed aside under most circumstances, but at the same time, you never know, because there's been instances, especially lately, where I've tried to practice dream recall and all this stuff where it's almost like I can start to visualize where things are superimposed and start to peel back the layers. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes, again, kind of going into how trauma and certain situations like that also can play into this, whether it's alien abduction scenarios or you had
Mhm.
an abusive situation, you need to be careful about wanting to rip off the mask because you may not like what you see behind it.
Eh, That's something that you brought up there that I'm actually quite interested in. Obviously, the extraterrestrials that visit this world and the Galactic Federation, you know, there are different alien life forms out there. They obviously dream too. Let's face it, they dream because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
living organisms. They've got souls, right? They dream, right? I wonder if any of the races, I mean, the ones that are very sophisticated, have actually managed to like tap into that kind of dream realm. I know like with abductions and they replace your memories and stuff like that. But I would love to hear like for somebody that took again like Elena's kind of point of view on this, what she thinks, like what the extraterrestrials think about this subject. You see where I'm going with this? Because they're like there'll be alien life out there, there'll be alien life out there just like us. They might look totally absolutely different, right? But they'll have like weird dreams basically the same as yours. I say different, obviously, but different because it's a different world. But then there'll be like entities out there that are really, really old, right? And they've figured out ways like Dame with you, for instance, bringing you here. Elena on that, bringing her here, bringing everybody here, but bringing all the star seeds here. It, I would love to know the science in behind how they do that. I really would. How they do how they can manifest into the dream world to like change your brainwaves and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, like that. Like I was saying, if you believe you have had situations like that, this might be a pretty good chance, especially after meeting me.
but I had weird
You're
dreams
not
before I met you. I had
like,
weird
yeah,
dreams before. Yeah, I had weird dreams before I met you,
but
and
Chris, you're far from the first person to ever say that. Yeah, they may have had a few experiences here and there, but after meeting me, things start going into hyperdrive.
I'm going to say right. I'm going to be totally honest here. When I had daydreams before I met you, it all stopped when I was 16, round about then, and all the dreams after that was all really paranormal. It was all dead loved ones that came to me, and I've found out because I've been getting learned for people learning me my psychic abilities and stuff like that in the spiritual realm and that. I've been learning for that to control that with the spirits, right? Now, but when I met you, it was like, oh my fucking god, excuse my language, but oh my god, where the hell is this guy taking me now? I mean, I was in ships. I can remember those ships. I can still put these ships into my brain and what they look like inside. I can't remember different ships because they were weird. They were weird looking. You don't have bloody triangular doorways and stuff like that. I mean, like in buildings and black floors with black marble floors. Well, no marble, it was something else, but it was black anyway. And folk walking about with stupid looking heads and stuff like that. Sorry if I'm offending any aliens watching this, but you get what I mean? And then I started dreaming about your kids. And then I'm in this place, this planet, whatever it was, and the purpleness and the weird terrain and all that. And then after a while, it kind of stopped. It just stopped. It just completely stopped. And then I went back to my kind of spiritual stuff again. But lately I've been kind of having weird things happen now and again that's kind of, I think I'm more set on the spiritual side of stuff, guys. I'm more set on the spiritual side of stuff. I don't know why. But from time to time, there is like messages come to me and I'm like, and I'm kind of hesitant to go in there. Maybe it frightens me slightly. Like maybe that's the truth.
You see, Chris, to kind of go into what you were talking about earlier, because I have gotten a look at some of this hell that actually comes together. These beings, they have such an understanding of several different, not just us, but several different species, anatomy, physiology, psychology, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Say how, like soldiers with PTSD, just as an example,
Yeah.
there are trials, I believe they're still going on, where they're working on drugs that help sever the neurological connections associated with whatever trauma they went through. And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by that is that when the test subjects who are on this drug, after a few trials, they lost a lot of that emotional connection to where, if say they got attacked by a significant other, they're able to actually, it was like they just came to an acceptance about that and accepted that as just another day. That's how much of an emotional connection they had. These
Yeah.
ETs, they have that knowledge on being able to do that, to where they can deal with your mind and reconnect things
Yeah.
to make sure you are not screwed up too much in the head if you saw something you may have not been ready for. And
Yeah.
even if they don't necessarily have that knowledge on hand, ready to go, their technology has such an incredible memory space to where it can scan every bit of part of you and know what you need.
Yeah.
Like that's why everybody's getting all excited about these med beds, right?
I've not heard of them, I must
Now,
admit.
mind you, the ones we're going to be seeing, they're kind of, to draw the similarities to say like internet connection. The ones we're going to see up front first, probably going to be like the dial-up version.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah, like
we
the
were
big
to,
cell phone of the 80s kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, they may
The
not
big thing
be
with the big aerial and all that.
as sophisticated, and but in the same situation though, there's been a few times where we get into similar subjects about this and say, oh, the med beds can do this, the med beds can do that, but med beds, blah 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 blah. Yes, it is absolutely fascinating to see those things at work, but at the same time, you still got to get the person who's injured to the med bed.
Aye. I mean, I've heard these stories, right? And I never really looked into this, but I'll maybe look into this after and I'll see if I can get the person to come on. But I've heard the people that have been really unwell with cancer and stuff like that, and they've went to their bed, right? And they've went to this weird place, right? You came where I'm going with this, didn't you? They've went to this weird place, and there's these weird looking creatures stoating about, looking at them. They don't really talk; they just use their mind to talk. And they'll say, "Right, I'm going to heal you," and they're like, "All right, no bother." And then they wake up the next day and they feel totally different. And then they go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "There's nothing wrong with you anymore," kind of thing. And it's as I find it fascinating how they can take you. It's not just how they can take you, and I don't think they're actually taking you for your bed. I think that because they're so sophisticated, right? I think they can heal you in your bed if they do desire. If they do desire, they can heal you from where they are, some of them, depending on what it is, right? If you're missing limbs or something like that, I don't think that's ever happened, or can't get another limb or whatever. But it makes you wonder, and it makes you wonder too. A lot of people say, "Oh, they beam you up and all that kind of stuff." I don't think that they beam you up. I don't think that they. I think they take your soul from your body, transport that back to the wherever it is, the ship or whatever, and put you into something. So then you do stuff there, and then they bring you back and plop you back in your body again. But there is cases where people have been ta'en and they've been cut open and things implanted in them. I get that. But I do think with some people, like you, Dakota, they maybe leave your body there, but take your essence away, right? Pop you into something else, you go and do your business or whatever, right? And then bring you back and pop you back in.
It really depends on the circumstances, because I've been in those situations where I have taken people and basically performed surgeries on them because
Mhm.
they were affected by something pretty serious. And now I know, say, like Dots and a bunch of other people, they're gonna say, "Oh, Dakota, maybe it was like a multi-dimensional thing." And maybe it probably was, but a lot of the abnormalities in my story seem to be that I c- is from coming from the fact I can technically place them on a linear timeline. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Mhm.
That's another discussion altogether. Going back to how it is, because there is several stories where individuals say they're in the hospital, they have some kind of organ failure, and
Mhm.
they remember this dream where all they see are these weird like beings. They don't really
Mhm.
they look human in shape, but you don't really see any faces, any
Yeah.
skin. They just they look like those star beings from Men in Black International.
Aye, that's it. Aye.
It just kind of use a pop culture reference, and it's like they could perform sort of a sur- surgery soul transplant, if you will, where, and this is based on the eyewitness reports, where say they had issues with their liver.
Yes.
It was like they took out the bad livers. They managed to disconnect the bad liver, its essence, from the body and put
Mhm.
something new there. But you also have reports, and there's actual video evidence of this, where there are Eastern hospitals that after getting into the patient into a certain diet, a certain exercise regime, certain
Mhm.
like meditations, yoga, with intent, focus, and some chanting, they have been able to completely erase stage 4 tumors.
Yeah.
And obviously, anybody who's dealt with a family member or themselves, if you get the news that you're stage 4, that's essentially
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
you're
Yeah,
being
you're
told
screwed.
you're done for.
You're done. When you get stage 4, you, when you get stage 4, look, I ken folk that have died with stage 4. Everybody's optimistic. They're like, "Oh, I'm not going to die." A year later, you're dead. Right? Look, it doesn't take much for someone to change and then die. I seen that with my mother. She passed away really quick. She came home from the hospital and she was fine. She was walking about nothing. Right? And then a month later, she was gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much, right? And look, it's strange how they date to some people, but they don't date to others, which I find interesting. Is there anything special about those people that's been healed with them?
That's what I've always wondered.
Yeah.
It's say like I'll I'll just put myself on the stand right now, where certain instances where I've been saved by circumstances to where even veterans within police and medical services who were trying to help me, they've been on the job over a decade at least. They
Mhm.
still wonder to this day how the hell I'm alive because of some of the situations I come out. And then I go to tell them that, oh, yeah, I just talked to my dead grandfather, or this happened, or that happened. They're,
Yeah.
I made them
See,
believers.
I'm going to also say this. I'm going to say this. I don't think it's just extraterrestrials that can visit you in the dream world and heal you. I think it's. I think spirits can do it too.
because at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
the other side of this, it's not necessarily that the dream world could be used as portals, which it can. That's
Oh
why
yeah,
it's
it
called
can.
dream walking.
Mm-hmm.
But as a precautionary measure, your body does still take sort of an inventory of your surroundings while you're asleep. So in the event, say
Mm-hmm.
you have a bad wire in your house and there's a fire that starts.
Yeah.
So hopefully you wake up,
Mm.
but never be, spirits, ETs, even negative, positive, all sides of the spectrum when it comes to whatever you believe in, whatever these beings actually are. And the reason why I'm putting this is because let's face it, there's so much out there.
Oh yeah.
They
Mm.
all know that they can manipulate the environment to mess with your head for whatever purpose they may have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's face it, some of them may just try to prank you just for the hell
I've
of it.
I've look, when I don't know if Pete's still in the room, but when his dad died, I was devastated, like, because I was quite fond of Mike the Naked Bigfoot. And that dream I had of him, that was so vivid. I can remember that to this day. And what he did in it was just so funny. It was just so funny. And it cheered me up. It did. It cheered me up. And then I knew I would see him again, you know? And it's the same thing with my mother. I've had visitations for that day, which I thought was quite strange because it's still quite early. Yeah, I mean, people will, it's been about 4 months now, but to be honest with you, I didn't get like a visitation from my grandmother until it was like 4 years or 2 to 4 years after each one. Get I mean? It takes a while for them to learn how to do this kind of stuff.
It really depends on the case because there's been instances where I've had spirits interact within 24 hours of something
see,
happening to.
see, my first grandmother, I had that dream the day after she died. Yeah,
Mhm.
right. And Lisa says to me, it usually takes a wee bit longer than that. But then the one with my mother was, Jesus, that was on Tuesday night, getting into Wednesday. That's who the dream was, guys, that I was talking about. And it was just too strange how it all came together. Because on the Friday, Alan told me about something that he had a dream about, and it's just weird how things all just come together. On that on that particular day was the 4 months since my mother died, which is quite interesting how everything comes together.
It also makes you wonder on the other side of the spectrum, meaning life, where you have individuals who believe they've seen, they were someone, either they or someone or their family was expecting a child, and they either had some sort of
Mhm.
visitation or dream about the child coming
Yep.
on the way. It's happened to me. I freaked out my sister, the one who had the baby back in December,
No.
because the day she found out it was a girl, 2 days before that, I had a dream where she visited me. She looked like she was in her teens, which is kind of the first clue that once she gets to talking a little bit more, we may be dealing with some past life regression there. We'll see how that plays out. But
Yeah, obviously.
when I was able to tell, the color of her eyes, what she looked like, she looks exactly like her mother, which was the first thing.
Mhm.
2 days later, she has one of her prenatal appointments when she's supposed to find out the sex of the baby. She gets home after that. The first thing she does is look at me and says, "Before I say anything, I need you to shut up right now." She was pissed that I got it right, that it was a girl.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, but it kind of going to the point I was trying to get to. If these are new souls, how the heck are the babies doing that?
See, I think that is a good question, actually. How are the babies doing that? But Don't know what they're dead next door. I think he's knocking something down. But anyway,
I was about to say, what's that knocking, man?
he's building onto his conservatory. I don't know what he's dead next door. But look, we don't know about the dream world. We'll never know until our time comes and we die
Chris,
and we
Earth to
go.
Chris.
Do you hear me?
I'm
Hear that? Next
frozen.
door. That's just started. There's nobody next door to me. The guy was building the day. The house is going to enter. It's the spirits. It's the spirits. But anyway, no, the guy's building on his conservatory. He's one of these folk that like to work at night. Look, I'm going to say this. I don't know how you managed to figure out she was a girl, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it's I suppose there could have been a chance of luck at it. Could have been a wee bit of chance of luck at it. But you see that Terence Lawrence interview? You ken the one I'm talking about? With the Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
You came out, I'm going to bring up for you, didn't you?
Terrence Howard,
Terrence Howard, sorry. Did you see what he talked about with his pregnant wife and their son?
Mm-hmm.
When they first became pregnant, he took a torch and he shined the torch into the womb. And he did that every single day. Right? And then the baby was born, the baby got a wee bit older, and he turned a torch on one day, and the kid just went straight for it to try and grab it. As if the kid could remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your psychic abilities or something like that. Maybe you've I don't know, maybe you've just picked up that it was a girl.
Well, here's the thing. I'm only bringing up my niece because that was the most recent example. That was being able to predict the kids. That's something I've been able to do literally since I was 2. And like Iron Firehorse points out, technically, unless there is a weird genetic condition, let's just ignore the LGBT thing right now, just for simplicity's sake.
Aye, right. Aye.
We try to be inclusive, but anyway.
Who you what do you identify as a turnip?
Anyway, see, when I was about 2 years old, there's one. My aunt told me the story where there was this one day where I walked up to my stepmom and put my hand on her stomach and said, "My baby sister's in here." She had no clue what I was talking about. Everybody else was weirded out. Next day, she goes to the doctor's office because she's not feeling well. Gets tested. Voila, she's pregnant. So, being that I was the oldest sibling, that happened with damn near every single one of my siblings. Mind you, I have 11 sisters and 6 brothers. And it sort of became a little bit of a game for me because I figured, at least as far as I know, there wasn't any weird genetic conditions that affected the sex of the child. It's a 50-50 shot, and if I get it wrong, oh well.
Yeah, I suppose
I only ever got one wrong.
It's quite interesting.
Let's say I wish I had that kind of luck when I was gambling.
Aye, I was going to say you could pick the right lottery numbers of the Mega Millions or something like that,
Tried that, didn't work in my favor.
I try that every Friday night. That doesn't work in my favor either. I try different concoctions of numbers, and very rarely, because that's a game of chance. That's what people don't realize. The lottery is a game of chance. It's like you can't change things. It's like the time travel scenario where, you go in future, look at the numbers, come back again, go to play it. It's got to be different every time it comes out, right? It's it's a game of chance. But I don't know. It's been an interesting subject tonight. I'm going to say that now. It has been an interesting subject. There's my dog barking at a hedgehog outside. That's what it is. She's after the hedgehogs. Can you hear? But look, there's some crazy stuff going on, and I think we should talk about this again. Actually,
I think we should research some clinical psychologists that explore this a little bit deeper. Someone who's a lot more experienced than a couple of bald knobheads.
We should maybe try and get a guest on. We should try and get a guest on. We should try and get a guest on. What's that, Christopher, in the chat there? Don't let anyone steal your powers. Chance they will not want to let you go. Give me your power. The magic power.
Not
Maybe
100%
I don't know what
sure
that's all
what
about.
he was
I
talking about that.
don't know what he's talking about there. But tomorrow night, what's the show tomorrow night? We've got Lewis coming on in the chat. The Knowledge Within guys is coming on with us tomorrow night.
Right,
In the
you
chat.
definitely know Lewis has got some interesting little theories on all
He
the
does.
stuff that's going on.
He does. And I might, tomorrow night, I'll give you I was going to do it tonight, but I've got a kind of sore head tonight, so I'll do it tomorrow night. I'll give a couple of what do you call it? Starseed Oracle cards. Draw the masses in, give you a free reading tomorrow night on the show. A couple of cards, these all. You never know. You never know.
We may have to start a little early so that way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll be doing my card readings tomorrow, usual day anyway, during the day.
I was about to say, we don't want to be dragging on too long. I got to work tomorrow night. I'm back to work.
I don't worry. We're only doing it about 5 o'clock UK time in the morning. Oh, God. Apologise. No, it's only on for an hour and a bit tomorrow, guys. The same as what we've done tonight. But anyway, do you want to say anything about our bald lotion that you're bringing up?
Yeah. Like I said, for those of you who missed the beginning of the show, we do have Bald and Bonkers Hair Growth Tonic. Unfortunately, due to some sort of restrictions in shipping, we can only ship it in the US. Because apparently some people thought that Bald and Bonkers was a hair restoration company. And before we close out, I knew we saw this. Hold on. I knew I saw something.
What
anyway, Roisin, happy late birthday.
That's right. Happy late birthday. Happy birthday.
I know I saw that.
Anyway. I know they'll all be laughing at me saying, my God, what is that in his head? It's 100% plastic, may I add. There was no Donald Trump wasn't harmed in the process.
More like Elton John.
What, Candle in the Wind, Pinball Wizard, you know, Saturday night, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. I'm not wrong about wearing a wee wig now and again, you know.
Anyway, like I said, we probably should close this out before we go too off the rails.
Yep.
But
Goodbye,
if you haven't seen it yet, check out the interview I did on Grounded Starseed. Definitely turned out very well considering I was half asleep throughout that entire thing. But and we'll have all sorts of interesting little projects coming up very soon. You know, there we have the anthology. Just head on to baldandbonkers.net. The form's on there. I am going to be adjusting the form a little bit to help accommodate some certain things, especially individuals who may feel a little who want to participate, but may feel a little bit more intimidated by the idea of writing something because they have issues with dyslexia. There's a lot of people in this field that have some have dyslexia. I didn't realize till we started this show, man.
There's Rosalind Dakota. Where can I find that?
Oh, the hair growth tonic. Here, let me just pull up the link real quick. We have a Printify merch store. You can get t-shirts, you can get underwear, you can get little journals, mugs.
Yes, you can get underwear with Dakota's face on it.
No, that's tempting.
You know, you can have me with my banana.
You and your banana.
Look, he's jealous because I look too handsome eating a banana.
I'm the better looking one, motherfucker. Anyway, this is just what
I've begged to from that person.
Anyway,
I'm like a fine wine. I'm mature.
This is just one of our merch stores. We do have some the stars. No, the Starseed thing you mentioned. I don't want your pants. Oh God. That is on YouTube. Hold on, we'll try to get the video pulled.
I don't know. I think we're needing to do like a gift giveaway one night, like underwear or something like that, you know, for our lucky subscribers.
It only goes up to a certain size, Chris. So let's just put it that way.
There you go, girls.
God.
Just
You're
ignore
gonna
me.
get
Have it.
how we haven't gotten canceled for some of the things we said yet. I will
It'll
never
be
know.
fine. What's the worst that could possibly happen? It's like Robot Chicken.
I know.
Emperor, get
We-
chucked off it.
You know, hey, woke culture, cancel us. We can use the free publicity.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, I identify as a turnip, so I've decided when I die and if I get buried, the turnip lies here in the date, Oh my god! The aliens have took him, guys. So anyway, guys, is he coming back?
You're not getting rid
Press
of
the
me.
wrong button again. Pressing that wrong button again.
Of course. Anyway, here's the link. It's on YouTube. Just look up the Grounded Star Seed. Although I think she changed it to the Grounded Star Seeds. One of the most recent videos she put up. It goes a little bit more into the ET side of the story, but if you really want in-depth information about that type of stuff, you might want to wait to get my book out because there's a lot.
Yes, ladies and
And
gentlemen,
there's
check it out. I've watched the first half hour of it, and I watch the rest tonight when I'm lying in my bed and looking at hair lotion that I can't have.
It's not my fault that restriction came up. It's just
Aye. Think of the guys in the chat there that's wanting that hair lotion ointment. Dots. Want to rub it out. Is selling all that, the next big foot in Ireland.
anyway. Well, we
ladies.
should probably jump off before we go too off the rails, like I said.
Bye.
Much love. Take care. See you tomorrow. Lewis, don't you be late.
Aye, don't you be late, Lewis. Don't you be late.